what is a Mac girl versus a Maxon like Macaw versus Amazon when it comes to sound. Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bond. Please be sure to get your copy on Amazon so that you have your handbook physically or as an ebook to help you know everything that you need to take care and give a quality life to your Mac squawker so that you can then have quantities of bliss. I'm going to start with a trick. It's not a real trick. She does a trick. And I'm also going to start by trying to loosen her grip. Oh, a little bit, thank you. And by thanking you for watching the ads, that helps me keep making videos and support my Mac flock. and there was something else. Oh well, yes. So thank you for watching the ads. Now, here is the Mac trick. In my palm, I can kind of show you. I have several pistachios. I have 5. We're going to offer her 1. How many pistachios do you think a Mac girl can hold in her beak or take at a time? Now, this is my hot. You can see her. She's panting. She's hot. Catalina Macaw Kailani, and Kailani is 2.5 years old. Kailani, would you like a pistachio? 1, 2, 3. She tried for 4. They don't fit. They just don't. I love that. The first time I was offering her a pistachio, she took it, and then it's kind of like, I don't even know, because they don't have a hand, right? She didn't grab me with her foot and kind of go, well, hold on, I'm taking another one. But she kind of did it with her beak and took 2. That lower mandible kind of has some room, and they're so talented with their tongues that they kind of maneuver it, and she's been holding the 2. She shelled them both. You heard the 4 pieces fall, and now she is, they're so agile at holding the nut and eating it and getting as much as they can, which is really cool because a lot of parrots, including them, waste a lot of food. Okay, on to the topic, sound. So here's the squawk down, low down squawk. This is squawker versus squawkity squawk squawker. So what's interesting was we're talking about 2 parrots that are significantly loud. Oh, did you see that? Her beak was empty, and then she brought the other one. She didn't regurgitate it. It was in her beak, in her lower mandible. She brought it back up. Both pretty darn loud. I'm gonna say cockatoos are worse, and I'm pretty darn I'm gonna say that emphatically. I understand that cockatoos can affect your hearing, and that they're louder or have higher decibels, or I don't know the scientific-y part, than an airplane. So they're loud. But these 2 loud guys, it's kind of loud, like loud 1 versus loud 2. So first, here's now 3 pistachios. 1. Oh, she only took 1. I guess she decided that they're here for her, so she doesn't have to hoard them. And by the way, it's so interesting. So she took it out of the shell, and then she kind of peels it. The pistachio has sort of like a little dry skin around it, and she kind of peeled that off. Anyway, when we go for a walk around our block, it's a 10-minute walk, no big deal, but I don't know, you can kind of see how far it goes, not exactly because the tree's in the way. When we're, on the outside of the houses, right? We don't walk on the inner circle with the lake. We're walking outside past the houses. We can hear them. And sometimes I'm like, do, who's making that noise? Not my house. Because thank God, we don't, if our parrots are out squawking, we will bring them in. We don't think it's polite, and it's not okay, and we don't want to, be inconvenient to our neighbors. But they do talk. Thank goodness they're not like, you know, unfortunately, like dogs are kind of like, rah, 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 and it's hard. Now the Amazon sound is a little harder, and I think that's one point to note and compare. That, oh look, she's like, where are those other two pistachios? That sound is definitely, oh, that time she took them both. More cacophonous, less enjoyable. Not that I would say that the macaws are terribly enjoyable. You know, when you compare them, parrots to songbirds, no wonder they call them songbirds. These are not, you're not going to record it and listen to it during a meditation. So, something to take into account. So, when it comes to the sound, the macaws are, I don't know if I could say they're louder because we don't leave our Amazons out, and we don't, you know, and so we don't walk around and hear the Amazons, and so I can't compare apples to apples right there. But I will tell you that I feel like the macaws are louder, but the Amazons are more annoying. Yeah, I said it, more annoying. I love my Amazons, don't get me wrong, but their sound can be a little much. Now, the Mac girls, if you're familiar with me, and if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I am a humongous believer that you should have two of a species. So for my Catalina macaw, I got a Harlequin macaw. And my Mac girls, when they're in their cage together, and they're usually out here so that they can fly if they want, they can enjoy the fresh air, they can, you know, I don't know, they're being birds. And then during the day, we put them inside when they're ready. They come to the back sliding glass door on the floor, kind of like dogs do when dogs come to the back door and they're like, let me in, I'm ready, let me in. They do the same thing. It's kind of a crack up. But they do the same thing because they want to come in, they want to go in their cage, they want to drink some water. They have water out here, but they want fresh water. And the water out here was only fresh for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and that was a couple hours ago. They want to have their, you okay? They usually have their breakfast out here, their veggies, but they're like, you know, I want some of my Mac mix, the Macaw mix, which is nuts because they're nut eaters. The Amazons are not, and that's going to save you money. But they also are like, you know what? It is time for me to rest, and I want my house where there's no other birds flying around, there's no airplanes, no helicopters or whatever. I want my house. So then we put them in for a little while. When they're in, sometimes they squabble, and it's like, rah, 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 and it's a little loud. It's not awful. It is a little loud. I'm going to get my Amazon to compare, but in a minute I'll do that. But in the meantime, I want to tell you that I think that I would take more into account than just the loud squawkiness. I would take into account the talking. Your Amazons are going to be better talkers than your macaws. Kailani has not been a prolific talker. Every parrot is individual. Every parrot is like their own person, and they do their own thing. Hi, sweetie. Yeah. Now her sister, or her macaw, Cammy, now says bye-bye when either she wants us to, they were at the sliding glass door earlier. So I went to the sliding glass door, I opened it, I'm like, you guys want to come in? And I'm like, step up, or Cammy said step up, because Cammy talks, Kailani doesn't. And I go, okay, step up. And Cammy kind of Cammy backs off, and she goes, bye-bye. And I'm like, okay, you don't want to come in, you just wanted some attention. No problem, bye. So she's picking things up, and in context. So that's kind of like blowing our socks off, because our African grays do that, and they're supposed to be super duper, super duper, super duper smart. Not that the macaws aren't, but like the African grays are supposed to be smarter. And anyway, so they're kind of, or Cammy's knocking our socks off. Kailani says hi, Kailani. She might say one other thing, but she's just not as prolific. I blame it on the fact that she wasn't allowed to develop before I got her. Like when I got her at 6 months, her wings were clipped and she just didn't have a chance to develop. That's a different video, different topic, different strong opinion. So, I do think that you want to look therefore not only at the squawking, at the talking, and your Amazon family, which is huge. is going to be more of the talker, potentially singer. And I think you should take a few more things into account, such as these birds, their wingspan. It's really cool. There's this one photo of me, and I think it was Cami, not Kailani, was behind me and opening her wings, and it almost looks like I have wings, except instead of being at my back, they're like at my head, you know. She's like, what are you doing with your hands? So their wingspan's pretty big, and I don't feel like they're as good in a house. They're destructive. My Amazons are not so bad. I think you should really take that into account, because once you have the bird, first of all, you bond. Second of all, you know, a part of my mission is to help you pick the right bird, learn how to bond with the right bird, provide the right quality life so that you can have the right quantities of bliss, so that you don't rehome the bird or turn it into a rescue. So really keep that in mind. Our two Mac girls, therefore, this is their cage, quote unquote, during the day. The Amazons, they're fine inside. There's room to fly. They're fine, and they don't go around eating things. The Macaws woulda, coulda, did. So that's another big thing I think that you should take into account. All right, now I'm going to pause it because I want you to see one of my Amazons, just to see it, because I think that my bird videos, should have feathers in them. So I'll be right back. All right, so this is Ursulus. My Amazonia virgilius is the scientific name is something like that. And I say it scientifically, poorly, but scientifically, because he has like 3 names in English: Mexican redhead, red-crowned, or green-cheeked Amazon. You could see Ursulus is a much smaller size. As a matter of fact, what are you, like, what are you, a third? I don't think he's a fourth the size of the Amazons weight-wise, but he's certainly a third. Ursulus is a better talker. Now, it is birdie nap time, and he looked like, okay, I'll step up, but I was taking my nap, so I'm not sure that he'll talk for you. Hi, Ursulus. Hi, Ursulus. So both species can learn to talk. Amazons are known for taking on more of a vocabulary. Macaws, I think you'd have to work with them more. Same with Amazons, though. You might get an Amazon that doesn't talk. You might get an Amazon that does talk, or talks prolifically. Ursulus picks up things that we say. I didn't know that I went around the house going, oh my God. Which, it's a crack up when he says it. He also calls my daughter. He hears me go, Shoha! Sometimes he copies me and he just goes, ha, Shoha! Oh, well, I told you, it's nap time. But he does say things. He'll come over and he'll go, what you doing? Hi, sweetie, you want to give me a kiss? Kiss? Oh, thank you, good kiss. You're such a good boy. I think that if you're in, a house, definitely this bird size-wise is easier. Sound-wise, I can't get him to be all loud for you. Oh, look, he's asking for pets. You want some love? Yes. Absolutely for you, sweetie. Yes. I have had Ursulus since he was a baby. I hand-fed him, and he is just a part of my family. Adore him. But Amazons twice a day. It is said that they greet the sun coming in and say goodbye to the sun going out with lots of loud squawking. Or my orange-winged Amazon. He had a buddy, my golden conure, and when I would take my golden conure anywhere, and Tico, the Amazon, couldn't see Binks, the conure, Tico would sound the alarm. Rah, rah, rah. It was, where's my baby? Where's my baby? Not, that kind of like alarm. And I'd be like, dude, calm down. Binks is right here. Stop. As a matter of fact, he would then fly through the house looking for him. And Binks had figured out how to get in my husband's office, which was upstairs. So he would fly upstairs, down the hall, and into my husband's office. And so Tico had to go learn how to find him and chase him into there. As a matter of fact, Tico went in looking for him in there today. But anyway. Hi, sweetie. So, Ursulus is totally fooling you and totally tricking you into thinking that he's a very quiet, sweet bird. He is, but not quiet. And that he doesn't squawk, but he does. I will say this though, if you teach an Amazon words, sometimes one of the things they do is in the morning, they sit there and they kind of like practice their words. So in the morning, he'll go, "Hi, Ursulus," and he's starting to learn to say, "I love you." And he'll go, "What are you doing?" And, you know, just kind of like sounding off, practicing what he knows how to say. So I can't say that if you teach them really like a lot of words, they won't scream, because I haven't taught him a lot of words and he still screams. So, but I think that that's possible, because certainly instead of just screaming all morning, he recites his phrases. "Hi, sweetie. You're such a good boy, aren't you? Aren't you?" I will also tell you that I think both of these species are pretty cuddly, not like a golden conure. They take the prize 100 times over. But you're pretty cuddly, aren't you? Yes. Ursulus is very loving, very affectionate. My yellow-naped Amazon, who has been known to be called my shadow, because she chose me, and she and I are very bonded. She's also just very affectionate. I don't think Ursulus has ever hurt me. Have you ever bitten me? I don't think so, huh? Lorenza has, because she's a one-person bird. Ursulus is still not a one-person bird, and I'll explain that in a second. But since she's a one-person bird, if someone comes too close, I get bitten. A one-person bird means that, and Amazons are notorious for being, as I understand it, the worst about it. A one-person bird means a parrot that bonds with one person, that's their mate, and then everyone else, no touchy, because this is mine. And if you try to touch mine, I'm going to teach whoever I can bite a lesson, whoever's closest. And often that's me, because I'm holding her and I'm closest. Because everyone handles Ursulus, so far, he isn't a one-person bird, and it's just wonderful, isn't it? Especially, oh, good kiss. Good kiss. Especially, I love that my daughter likes spending time with him. She teaches him tricks. She bonds with him. Do you want to do your beep, beep, beep? Beep, beep, beep. Pew, pew, pew. But he only does tricks for her, and sometimes he does them for me off camera. All right. So I hope that gives you a little more broad of a perspective. I will say they, of course, are both veggie eaters. The Amazons don't get seeds and they don't get nuts. They are prone to being overweight. I do not feed this guy seeds or nuts. And he is, are you still overweight? Let me see. He was a touch overweight. Okay, he's not. I'm trying to see his bone. Yeah, I think he's better. He steals. He goes into, like, when the macaws are out, if their cage is open, he sneaks in. So he tries to steal seeds and nuts. But Amazons are prone to being overweight. It's really not good for them. And so I really try to keep my Amazons from eating the fat foods that they shouldn't be eating. But if you just have, hopefully, 2 Amazons, because I think you should have an Amazon for your Amazon if you choose the Amazon, it's a lot easier not to deal with nuts. It's kind of cute and fun to give nuts out, but you can give out carrot pieces, beet chips, freeze-dried beet chips that have like nothing on them. And I'm sure you'd find other treats for them too. But it's a lot easier. We order nuts every month. It's like, where's the shelled almonds? Are we out? Where's the shelled walnuts? Are we out? Where's the pistachios? Are we out? Where's the walnuts not in the shell? Are we out? They go fast because we do have several nut eaters. So life would be simpler if you had a Zon and no nut eater, but it would be louder. Or if you're doing a lot of training, it might be different. Now, people often say to me, yes, but I've heard that if I have 2, they won't bond with me. I have not seen that at all whatsoever. I find that I have like 2 of everything, and not only do they bond, but it's twice the fun for me. Plus, they are so happy, and they have their flock in the sense that they have a bird of their own species that they're with. They relate with that bird in ways that they don't relate with me. I can't I'm not willing to preen the feathers on their twitchy. And I'm also not always able to preen the feathers on their head. Things like that. And, you know, they feed each other, they beak each other, they have a code that is parrotness. So I really strongly recommend too. And they're still so curious and so excited about bonding with us. So I find that that's not a problem at all. All right, thank you for sticking with us in this now long, blissful video. Be sure to get your bottle of must-have Tinks oil, CBD oil for your parrot, so that if you're having any problems where your parrot's getting stressed out, or you want to help support their immune system to grow a stronger immune system kind of thing, then make sure you get that on parrotbliss.com, or you can leave a comment there. Of course, you can also leave comments or questions down below, anything you want me to talk about that I know about, or I can always find out more information from my experts that I talk to. And you can join Parrot Bliss Flock, our group on Facebook, or leave a message on Facebook or Instagram. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss, a goodbye kiss. Say bye-bye. Never on camera. I love you. I love you. Hi, Ursula. I love you. And that's a dead rat. Oh, well, I'll take that. He made a noise. By the way, these are not the Amazon noises I'm talking about. This is cute and sweet. Aren't you cute and sweet? Yes, you're being so cute and sweet. Mwah. Okay, you're a good boy. He also says good boy. You're such a good boy. Right? All right, until next time.